Hey everyone, it's Zinnia here, and today I wanted to show you how to make a geometry platformer on the phone. I'll break this into 4 steps, which will be drawing your character, making the character jump and rotate, making a moving obstacle, and adding particle effects. So yeah, let's get started. So for step 1, let's draw our character. I'll tap to create a new project, and for the backdrop, I'm just going to upload this backdrop photo that I found. You can add any backdrop that you want. And then I'll tap paint, and here you can draw your character. Since it's a geometry platformer, I think I'll draw my character out of squares and rectangles. And I'm gonna go with this design. You can design the character however your heart desires. So yeah, now we've got our character. Now for step 2, let's make our character jump and rotate. So to make the character jump, I'll drag out a when I tap block, and I can drag out a jump block and put it underneath. That's a pretty good jump, but how about we make it higher? I'll try something like 80. And if you want it to also play a sound effect, you can go to the words and sounds category and drag out a play sound block, and I'll set it to play sound and continue. And you can pick any sound. I'm gonna have it play this one that I recorded. So we've got the character jumping. I'm also gonna change this to when I tap anywhere on the stage, so that now the player can tap anywhere and the character jumps. And now let's make it also rotate while it's in the air. So right now, when we tap the screen, the player jumps. We also want it to turn when we tap the screen. So to do that, I can drag out another when tap block, and I'll set this one also to when I tap anywhere. And under here, I can put a turn block. So let's just try that out. So now I can, that's pretty cute. I can tap the screen and it does both of these things. It plays the sound and jumps, and it also turns. If you want to make it turn the whole time that it's jumping, you could try putting that block inside a repeat loop. I also made it turn 20 at lightning speed and put that in a repeat, and I found I like that a lot. And if you want it to land so that it's always flat on the ground, you could drag out a set direction block and put that at the end of the stack. There we go. Now for step 3, let's draw some obstacles for the character to jump over. So I'll tap add a sprite. Now I want to make my obstacle be a triangle, so one might try to go and paint it, but there's actually no triangle shape to draw. Here's how I get a triangle, and you can do this too if you want to. I steal the triangle from the robot, so I will add the robot sprite, and then I'm going to tap to edit it, and then if you notice, the nose is a triangle. So I'm just going to delete the rest of it, and we are left with a triangle. So I'm going to color the triangle itself black, and then I want it to have a white outline. So to do that, I'm going to copy the triangle, make it a bit larger, and fill bucket it white, and then try to put it behind this one by putting it to the back layer. So now that we've got our obstacle, we can make it be moving along. You can drag out the move block, and I'll try making it move this direction 5 steps at a time and just see how that looks. And yeah, that seems pretty nice. Then I'll put this inside a forever loop, and that will make it be always going across the screen. Oh, you know what? I'm going to layer this sprite behind the main character because I think I like how that looks. So now the triangle is just always going that way. And you can obviously adjust the speed as you like in your game. And I'll have this start when the play button is pressed. And there we go. Now we've got a moving obstacle. Now for step 4, let's add particle effects when the character lands. So you might wonder, how are we going to do this? And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to make a couple of little square sprites, little light green squares. And when the main character lands, I'm going to make those sprites show up and move outward in these directions a little bit. So let's give that a try. To start, I'll just make one square and then we can duplicate it later. I'll tap add a sprite and I'll paint a little square. So when the main character lands a jump, we want this square to start here and then move outward a little bit. So how about we go to the main character sprite, and we can have this sprite send out a message when it completes a jump, and then we could make the particles do something when they get that message. So I'll send out a message and I'll call it finished jump, and I placed that block after the jump block happens. So now we can go over to this particle, and I'll say when I receive finished jump, well, okay, we can make it go to, here, so I'll drag it there, and then I can drag out a go to block, so that block will make it go there, perfect. And then I can have it move 50 steps in this direction. So let's try it out. I will jump, and okay, the particle moves outward, which is good. But if you'll notice, it's showing the whole game, and we want it to only appear when the jump happens. So how about this? when the game starts, I will have this particle hide. So let's test that out. Okay, that's good, but now it's not showing up when we land a jump. So I'll just drag out another one of these blocks for when I receive the message, finish jump, and I will have it show. So let's give that a try. Okay, so it starts hidden and then it shows. So that's good, but then if you'll notice, it stays shown. How about we make it hide after it appears? And I'm gonna keep it to hiding on a slow speed because I think that might look cool. So now, okay, so that's great. Now these particle effects, they appear when you jump, but then they fade away. In fact, you could change the speed of this hiding if you want to. I think that's too fast for me, so I'll keep this one. But maybe I will make them move faster, right? No, nope. Nice. And then to add more particles, all you have to do is open up this sprite panel and I can just duplicate this sprite. So I duplicated and made 2 more. Let's try that out. So I'm going along and it looks the same as before, and that's because these 3 sprites are all in the exact same place as each other because they're all moving out in the exact same direction. So one way I can fix this is I can go to the second one and make it start from a different location and move in a different direction. And I can do the same thing for the third one. So let's just try that all out. Okay, I like that quite a bit. And you know, you can edit it however you want in your game. But yeah, there you go. That is how you can add particle effects. So that's part 1 of this series. In part 2, I'll show you how to do more things like adding circles that give you a second jump and more. Hope you have fun making your geometry platformers, and I'll see you in the next video.